Okay, so that last video I did was just basically to cover the contract with Oregon. So I didn't really take any questions or anything, but I wanted to come back and give people that opportunity. So Amanda had commented that she just found out that you don't have to have a birth certificate for an ID with the DMV. You just need a proof of an address, which could be any kind of bill or whatever. Could be a statement from the food stamp office. Yeah. So, which is kind of unfortunate because, see, I don't think you need a social security number to apply for food stamps. Yeah. What that means is you can be a legal immigrant and get food stamps. They're making it easier and easier for people to steal away into America. And it's something we have to do. We have to stop this. We help a lot of countries in a lot of ways. We have money going to other countries for all kinds of stuff. I know people complain about the amount of money that's going to Ukraine. If you saw the real amount of money that's going to all the countries around the globe, you would be shocked. You would be quite upset. Because what you find out is that what goes to Ukraine is a drop in the bucket compared to what's going out to everybody else. And I subscribe to the thought that, hey, they can hate us for free, all right? I mean, even Lebanon gets money. Even Somalia gets money. And you know what we have to deal with in Somalia and Lebanon, right? I mean, Lebanon was a beautiful place. It really was back in the day. The education, the universities, the education people got there, phenomenal. And somebody had to just go around blowing it up, and warlords and people trying to push themselves into power, and they destroyed a beautiful place. What's really crazy is that even Israel started out as pretty much a desert. There really wasn't anything there. And when Israel was formed, nobody really wanted the land. There was nothing there. But then a whole bunch of people got together and made something. Yeah, that's the power of people. And in Lebanon, it's no different. The problem is you have too many egos and not enough people that want to do the work to make it happen. Actually, you do have a lot of people that want to do the work. The problem is those that don't. Those that just want to run things. Those that just want to spend money, enjoy their own lives at the expense of everybody else. Call it fascism, call it tyranny, call it whatever you want. But that's literally the road we're headed down, even here in Oregon. We've been talking about the contract with Oregon, and I hope you all enjoyed that. I wanted to put it on just a short 30-minute video or so, and that way people that don't want to take the time to go read it on my website, which has become a problem, that they can actually listen to it. They can hear it from my own voice. So we'll see how that goes. So you'll be able to go copy those links and share them with your friends. So anyway, that whole Agenda 2030, let me tell you what, that is something that should have everybody really, really, really concerned. Let's see, where is that document real quick? I'm going to go find it. Oh, come on. I'm in the right place. Let's see if we can find this real quick. There we go. Okay. So we'll get that in just a second. In the meantime, I'm going to go see what kind of... Hey, we got a few more people here this time. Let's see. We've got Patricia and Amanda. And hey, Mr. Barry. What was that you were looking for? Let's see. Hey, Timothy. We got Timothy here. Thank you, Timothy. I appreciate that. And you'll get a chance to write me in your general election ballot when it comes in the end of October. So the biggest thing I can ask everybody to do is keep sharing my name, share the videos, share the contract with Oregon, share the details, because the people that are running for office, none of them have been representing Oregonians while they're in the legislature. What makes you think they're going to represent us as the governor? Which of them have an actual plan? Which one of them have actually offered it? Which one of them have been honest and forthright about all the taxes that are about to be levied on all of us, including me? You know, which one of them is saying they're going to reduce taxes? None of them, except for me. And we have a plan to do that. So, hey, Becky. Becky's here too. Let's see, Mr. Barry. Looking up a part for your 24-year-old driver. Drum support roller finally gave out. Yep. I've replaced many of those in my time. Yeah. Know how to do that. Tear apart a dryer, washer, doesn't matter. Replace bearings, you name it. Done it all. And no, you don't have to have a birth certificate. We already covered that. Yes, Amanda, we definitely need to save the Constitution. So many people act like, well, it's an old document. Yeah. And Mr. Larry, but you're here from John Day too. All right, great. Good to see you. Hey, Sue. Rogue Valley, the spotted owl destroyed the economy and brought in big tech, ruined the home state. Let me tell you, I totally agree. And thing, Sue, is that we have to get forest products back into the high schools. You know, in private Oregon, we had forest products, and those guys went out and did some great things. They made trail fire breaks, cleaned up all kinds of stuff. They planted trees. They learned about the conservation of the land in our forests actively, and they were inspired and motivated to do it. And then eventually a lot of them went into timber industry. These are important things. And right now, all this has been taken away from our kids, every bit of it. They are literally preparing our kids to have to rely on the state for everything. Not good. Hey, Dina. Let's see. Yeah, Friday night bonus. There you go. All right, Terry, good to see you. Let's see. Yeah, like I said, what's funny was I was in Louisiana from about 2000. Oh gosh, when was it? About 2004 to 2014 for about 10 years. And while I was there, it was during the Obama years. Oh gosh, you get a job, it's good to go. And then all of a sudden the company folds because all the oil wells, everything was shut down in the Gulf. So literally everybody in the oil field was chasing jobs, just trying to get on somewhere and to keep bringing in a paycheck to cover the bills. And it was hard. It was really hard. It was frustrating. And it didn't matter how good you were. You could be a project manager running stuff and take care of it. Once the project's done, they go, well, we don't really have anything else for you to do, so we have to let you go. Yeah, that happens. But when the oil field is booming, oh man, that never happens. Matter of fact, you get hired away to go to another company and they offer you even more company truck, bigger benefits, all that good stuff. Yeah, that was kind of a fun experience actually. And it's good to learn something about the oil field and everything that's involved in it, because you realize just how secure it is, how safe it is, how clean it is. And once you understand and know those things, well, then when somebody comes to me and says, oh, no, that stuff's dirty and it destroys everything. No, let me tell you what. You have uranium mines here in Oregon. Do you know what that does? Do you know what happens when it rains on the tailings from a uranium mine? Yeah, okay. So all you little environmentalists that are out there, talk to your friends, go find out what that does to everything downstream. It'll kill entire lakes, reservoirs, streams, creeks, you name it. I'm talking not just what's in the water, what's around the water. Yeah. So why do we have uranium mines in Oregon? What do we need them for, really? We don't. And then also, as you know, there was also an attempt to sell a huge chunk of Oregon land for lithium, for battery development. Yeah, lithium's a big deal because, see, right now, China's kind of semi-cornered the market on it. All these batteries are coming out of China. See, they don't care about destroying their land because they got plans on taking ours. Yeah, what a deal, right? Destroy your land and then move somewhere else. Well, guys are trying to move to Oregon and Washington, California, and other states over here on the West Coast, where the least amount of our population is. Keep this in mind. So today I got to talk to someone. Her name was Kay Thomas of Common Cause. And I was led to believe that Common Cause is about exposing and helping people with issues of election fraud and things like that. And after talking to her, I couldn't believe it. This gal was actually pretty ignorant on a number of things. For example, she claims that Judicial Watch is a fringe, far, whatever wing disinformation entity. Apparently, she doesn't read the real news, the ones where they take people to court, they prove they're guilty, they win in court, moving on next. And they expose election fraud, they expose voter rolls that are freaking beyond bad. And even here in Oregon, he's brought that to the Secretary of State's attention, which she's been aware of. She's known this. And now, though, she's being called on the carpet to correct it. And that's what needs to happen. So anyway, she's referring to them that way. And I'm thinking, oh, God, this woman just exposed exactly who she is. This woman is not about being fair in her assessments. She's already preached that, all that voter fraud, all that stuff, that was just false. It wasn't real. It's just conspiracy theories and all those conspiratory people types. And I said, okay, I got a question. I said, here in Oregon, our Attorney General is a Democrat, and our Secretary of State is also a Democrat. And both of them have publicly announced and stated that they are aware that our Oregon election ballot tallying systems are compromised, and that they do access the internet, that they can access the internet, and that they can be accessed through the internet without passwords. I said, that has been publicly acknowledged. She still argued with me, said, well, that's not true. So what I'm going to say to people is this Common Cause group, if you're donating money to them, don't, because they're not doing their job. You're supposed to be unbiased. And if your job is about democracy and promoting and supporting democracy, which as a constitutional republic, we do operate under a democracy, but it's a constitutional republic. It is not just a democracy. That's a different animal here. And their goal is to supposedly help people when they come into with election fraud. And here with us, we have it. We have it on video. We have it recorded. We have documents. We have everything to show how the Secretary of State of Oregon Elections Division has violated our civil rights and has also violated Oregon state law in the course of interference with candidacy. Okay? So we have all that. You still got to be able to afford the attorney to go do it. Yeah, and then on top of that, the results you get will not be in time to correct the inequities of not being on a ballot. So we have to fight through this. So with the grace of God, we just continue the fight. So part of that is every one of us, every person you get to talk to, meet, convince, you're going to hear the argument. Oh, he's just splitting the vote. No, the vote is already split. It's already done. And it's split in the worst way because it allows for them to cheat the easiest to put Tina Kotek in office. Okay? And you can thank Betsy Johnson for that. I had nothing to do with that. So what I offer is a fourth choice. Because see, potentially I could win with as little as 26% of the write-in vote, or 26% of the vote, which would be write-ins, or upwards of 34%. Because see, here's what I figure. NAVs do not want to vote for either Betsy Johnson, Tina Kotek, or Christine Drazen. All right? The Democrat NAVs don't want to vote for them, for the Democrats, because they left the Democrat Party because they were sick and tired of the socialist ideology that they had embraced without their permission. And the holdouts, there's a lot of holdouts in the Democrat Party, and they are not happy with Kate Brown. They are certainly not happy with Tina Kotek, but they're pretending somehow, some way that, well, if I had to vote for somebody, okay, I'll vote for Tina. Democrats are very loyal. Republicans, on the other hand, Republican NAVs, they left the Republican Party because they were sick and tired of the Republican rhino candidates that the party kept putting up to them. Okay? It's that simple. So Christine Drazen, you will not get hardly any votes out of the NAVs. No. Just on principle. And as for the 77% of Republican voters that didn't vote for you in the primary, why do you think they didn't vote for her, guys? They know her. They know her record. They know her reputation. They know where she stands and the fact that she's not going to do anything for Oregon. And she's not even stated what she's going to do for Oregon. This is a problem. I'm a little tired of all these candidates that get up there. Well, once I get in office, you're going to see what I do. And people, yay! No, don't do that. If they can't tell you what they're going to do, don't trust them with whatever it is they're going to do. And for my opposition, they're already compromised. Millions of dollars compromised. Yeah, so keep that in mind. But like I said, when people try to, he's going to split the vote. No, I'm not. Christine Drazan is not going to get enough Republicans. He doesn't have enough Republicans. I went through the numbers. The total registered Republicans are 729,000. Okay, rounded that down a little bit. We'll call it 730,000. The total Republican votes in the last primary was 371,000. All right. Of that 371,000 votes for the Republicans, Christine Drazan got 85,000. Does that instill any great confidence in you as she's going to be the one that everybody else is going to say, okay, we're going to vote, but we'll vote for Christine because, yeah, okay. You really think they're going to do that? Republicans don't do that. Democrats do that. Republicans don't. Republicans like to keep their patriot Republican ethics intact. They want to keep that good to go. And what that means is if there's not a good candidate, they generally just don't vote unless they get scared into voting for somebody. Fear is the factor they're using to get people to vote for Christine Drazan. If you're voting on fear, you're failing as a voter. And I understand it'd be so much easier if I was just on the ballot. But again, we had people that were working to just their whole goal, their only ambition was to keep me off the ballot, not because of my position, not because of issues, but because they just decided they didn't want me there. Yeah. And I had a nice little conversation with somebody who's been trying to avoid being held responsible for their participation in this effort, this collaborative effort by a small group of people. And I called her on it. She claimed to be neutral. No, she wasn't. Her actions, her behavior, everything she's done is not. And we called them out on it. And we let them know, listen, for those of you that participated in this endeavor, you're going to reap the rewards of what you've sown. People are going to know you did this, that you were involved in it, because that's how it should be. Because if you ever stick your head out of your hole again, you're going to have a whole population there to just smack it down into the hole. There you go. Get what you deserve. Let's see what else we got up here. Let's see. Yeah. So lots of us moved to Alaska. Listen, guys, I don't want to have to move. I love where I'm at. My wife and I love our home. We love our place here in Roseburg. And we want to be able to stay here all the days of our life, you know. And so many Oregonians, that's how they feel. And it breaks my heart for the people that I've known that have already left Oregon that built this awesome home, and they've been there and they plan on staying there the rest of their life. And then because of taxes and everything else, they were forced to sell and leave. And they've gone all over the place. Alaska, Idaho, Montana. Gosh, I think even some went up to Michigan and Wisconsin. Yeah. You know, Florida, Texas. They've covered a lot of ground, Oregonians have. Going south to Georgia, that's really south and east. But okay. But hang in there, Sue. I'll tell you what, hopefully, maybe, like I said, you never know. Kimberly, the tailings from those uranium mines in Lakeview have caused terrible cancer rates. And one of the issues really comes down to that I think all water in Lakeview needs to be pumped from way south. I mean, literally, it needs to come from a place not even remotely close to where it's actually being pumped out of. There's got to be something that can be done with the tailings and the open mines. Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, I clean up pretty good, I make sure I got everything squared away with the pocket square and the tie and the right suit, the right shirt. You don't want to look like a clown. Although I do have some pretty cool ties, Scooby-Doo ties, yeah, things like that. Let's see. Amanda says here, I talked to my family at Polo and they told me that they won't trust a woman governor for a while. So now my plan is doing a pros and cons list between the three ladies and Paul and started showing the community. Okay, so this is good, Amanda, because I've had a lot of people say, well, where are the men? And what was funny was on a whim, I thought I knew that Betsy Johnson had been a director of the Portland branch of the Federal Reserve Bank. Okay, and I'm like, I wonder who the directors are now. So I looked it up. It's all women, all of them. And what I learned is that women are more susceptible to the socialist agenda. This is like a documented thing. It's not my opinion. It's a documented thing. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, this is starting to make a little bit more sense. We see a whole lot more women in politics, but the claim is that in fact women are more nurturing. They want to care for people and stuff like that. Although we have Kate Brown who doesn't care for anybody but herself, and we've had a number of people in our legislature, females. They put on the facade of caring for people, but in their actions they prove totally contrary. I think that's when they get compromised into that socialist mentality. So here's the thing that you can also point out to them, Amanda, is that all three of these women, they all support the Oregon China Council. And the Oregon China Council is publicly stated, it's on their website, that they fully support and endorse all 17 goals of Agenda 2030. These are going to be fundamental violations of our rights, our freedoms, our liberties, our sovereignty. So to be an elected official and actually support this is actually a violation of their oath. They will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. They need to look in the mirror and realize that they're the ones that are committing these crimes. As next governor, oh yeah, we're going to be holding some people accountable. Agenda 2030. Let's go discuss that a little bit. Where'd it go? Come on. There we go. Okay. So, give you a little intro into this. The UN Agenda 2030 is a global plan designed by the ruling class to gain centralized control over Earth's resources and populations under a one world government. The plan existed for decades, and it is in full execution at breakneck speed since 2020. The goal of the UN Agenda 2030 is to transform global society into a technocracy, okay? And this is under the guise of sustainable development by 2030. Sustainable development doesn't exist, not in the capacities of what they're pushing. Wind power, solar, kill off gas-powered cars. No, none of that works. Sustainable development, it's like using words that don't actually mean what they are using them for, kind of like the whole equity thing. The end result would be a high-tech slave system, impossible to escape, so let's make sure it never comes to fruition. We cannot allow this to happen, and we cannot allow a governor in office that supports this type of agenda. Now, COVID-19 plays an important role in pushing these agendas through. So before we can understand how all that works, we must first understand that what the UN Agenda 2030 and technocracy is all about. So first, there are sustainable development goals. Now, the UN Agenda 2030 has public, sugar-coated, deceptive propaganda on the website of the United Nations, videos on YouTube, etc. They're just trying to sell this thing to everybody, right? And the UN divided their plans into 17 parts, which they call Sustainable Development Goals. Now, according to the propaganda, the agenda is all about creating a sustainable world in balance with nature, where there's no hunger, equality, rainbows, and unicorns, and all that type of stuff, okay? So what I'm going to do is we're going to go through these things one at a time. We're going to give you the propaganda, their version, and then what it actually, in fact, means. The first one is, let's see, how we're going to go through this. We'll go through it simply. So The first one is no poverty. No, wow, no poverty. Wow, that sounds like something we all could get behind, right? Sure, it does. But what it actually means is to wipe out the lower class. See, they've been trying to kill off this whole population deal. The eugenics. You've heard Bill Gates talk about this. You've heard Charles Schwab. You've heard all these people publicly talk about wiping out a huge chunk of Earth's population. That's how they're going to make no poverty. Okay? Zero hunger. Well, let's see. GMOs and Codex Alimentarius. That's what they call it. But basically, it's like this, guys. If there's no more people, a whole lot less people, well, everybody else gets to live on everything else. Here's the problem. They may want to live on lobster and what have you, but if there's nobody out there to do that work to collect those lobsters, I guess it's no lobster for the elite upper class. Number 3, good health and well-being. You know what? We all want good health and well-being. Some of us really study for that stuff. And, well, here's what that really means. It's forced vaccinations. It's a violation of your medical freedom. It's a violation of the Nuremberg Code. It's a violation of our Constitution. They make it sound good, but what they're really, the underlying elements to it are totally not that. Next one, number 4, quality education. Well, it's propaganda, it's brainwashing, it's indoctrination. It's all the things that make our population even weaker. So when they turn around and try to take us all out, it's a whole lot easier to take out the stupid people, right? There you go. That's what they're doing. Number 5, gender equality. What is the purpose of this whole gender thing? Confusing everybody. There's how many, 71 plus new genders identities, right? No, there's 2. Male, female, that's it. And the fundamental reason for this is another way to create division and destroy the family unit. That's what its purpose is. That's what it does. And I don't think anybody can really deny that at this point. We've been witnessing it for some time now. Let's see, number 6. Clean water and sanitation. Because, we don't have any clean water or sanitation now, right? Right? Let's see. Basically, what they're talking about is the privatization of water and rationing. Nestle water down in California, they want all of us to have to pay for every bit of water we use in any capacity. And we're talking about potentially paying like gas prices for a gallon of water. No. Again, we can't afford it. But again, their whole goal is to pretty much thirst us out, starve us out, drop off a whole bunch of the population. See, all these goals work towards the same New World Order deal. The greatly decreased population of the United States, of the world. Number 7, they're affordable and clean energy. Okay? Actually, what they're looking to do is implement what they call the SG Smart Grid. Yeah, see, with the way it is with solar and wind, that is the worst way to go. It costs way too much money, and it doesn't accomplish the actual goals of taking care of the population. Here in Oregon, because of what they've been doing to kill our energy supplies, we're going to start experiencing brownouts and blackouts. And when that's in the middle of winter and you don't have that wood stove in your house, you're going to be pissed. Okay? But they don't care about you. See, this isn't about all you guys. See, all of us, all these voters here in Oregon, if we all dropped dead tomorrow, they would not shed a tear. Not one single tear. Number 8, decent work and economic growth. You know what that means? Slave labor. That's right. Because see, here's the deal. They're going to keep taxing you here in Oregon. They're going to tax you up to upwards of another 15% on your income for a universal health care program here in Oregon so that nobody has to pay for their health care. Well, except for all the taxpayers that are paying even more. So in other words, you can't afford what we have to do now to survive. So now you're going to be even more pressed to afford even your health care. You're going to be dropping dead out of starvation and no water. And then but at least when you get into the hospital, they'll just be able to go, well, yep, he's dying. Can you give him any IVs? No, we can't afford that. You know how Obamacare went. If they couldn't afford it, we can't either. Oh, well, thank you for your money. Goodbye. Oh, by the way, your funeral costs will be covered by the state. Have a nice day. Yeah, who's for that? Definitely not me. Number 9, industry, innovation, and infrastructure. They've not done, with all the money they've had that they've wasted on climate change, which is every penny put into climate change is a waste of money. There's nothing they can do to change anything that's going on with the planet. And the fact is, we have less carbon production now that's been measured over a long freaking time. Right now, even with this industrial age that we're in. That's really pretty awesome if you think about it. Let's see, where am I at? So the truth is, they're going to be creating more destructive or no more debt and tax the population. We already talked about that. So it's more taxes for you and me. It's creating more debt. And like I said, we all become slaves to this system that we already are kind of slaves now. So then number 10, the propaganda side, reduced inequalities. Because you know how here in America, how just unfair it is to everybody, right? No. Basically, the real truth is to harmonize under one world order. That is the goal. They want one group to control the whole world. Now, there are some countries that are so bad off, they would love that. But do you think that this one world order will actually be able to control Lebanon or Iraq or Somalia, or pick the country of your choice with the warlords and all kinds of mess there? Were they going to use America's military might to go in and clean it up? Right? No, you can't do that. Simple fact is this: every country is on their own. You make the most out of what you have. And there are countries throughout history that started with nothing and built something. They need to do the same thing. And if they're not smart enough, well, then they better get smarter. And here in America, they're trying to dumb us down. That whole spark of our ability to go beyond what we have in front of us. This makes America pretty dang awesome. It makes Americans awesome in our capacity to do amazing things. We get small little ideas and go, oh, wait a minute. You know what I can do with that? Don't believe me? Go look at some of the do-it-yourself stuff and all the little hacks, life hacks they have out there nowadays. Man, constantly learning something new. That's really kind of exciting. That's one of my goals in life. Every day, learn something you didn't know. Every day. You're either learning or you're dying. I'm going to err on the side of learning. Okay. Number 11, sustainable cities and communities. Actually, this is about prison-like megacities. That's right. See, they want all of us to leave your rural areas and move into the high-populated areas because that's where they can control us. See, when you're out off the grid, you have your own garden. You can survive yourself. You got your own well. What do you need the government for? See, they can't have that. They need to be able to control you, keep tabs on you, know what you're up to, know if you're going to try to overthrow them or something. So that's what they do. They herd us all into one place. Number 12, responsible consumption and production, which basically is what we call forced austerity. You know, this whole responsible consumption and production, that means, okay, you know, all the chubby people, well, you're not going to be chubby much longer if this happens. No, it's going to be rough on everybody. Okay. So keep that in mind. Now, it's not that I support people being overweight. I mean, I don't really know anybody that says, you know, I want to be 120 pounds overweight. Yeah, that sounds good. No, I don't know anybody that says that or thinks that way. Most everybody I know is like, man, how did I gain all this weight? What happened? How did I go from the rugby bod to the dad bod? Oh, no. How can I get back into that size 34 waist, right? That's for men. For women, I don't know what size you have. Those sizes mess me up anyway. But can we all stand to lose a few pounds and get a little healthier? Sure. Do you need to be starved to death to do it? No. Ultimately, it's still your choice. And I like to think that if you're in an environment that you're not having to worry about fighting the government and protecting your kids, and you're able to have, say, a one income home so that one parent can be home with kids and take care of that into the deal, right? That would greatly reduce anxiety and stress, which generally pushes people to eat more unhealthy and what have you. Although I got to admit, every once in a while, I like a Coca-Cola, right? But now when I have one finally, it's like I could have taken it or leave it. It could have took it or leave it. It didn't. It wasn't. Oh, thank God, I had to have this now. No, it's not like that anymore. So we can make adjustments. Number 13, climate action. Ooh, gosh. It's all about cap and trade, carbon taxes. It's about taxing you into oblivion. It's about collecting as much of your wealth as they possibly can to separate you from your wealth and your well-being. That's all it's about. And here in Oregon, the fact that the governor passed cap and trade with an emergency executive order, the attorney general should have been all over her saying, you can't do that. But of course, our attorney general isn't worth the amount of dog crud you can scrape off the bottom of your shoe. She's not acting within the boundaries of the Constitution. So, actually, we need to do a recall on her. So then we got number 14, life below the water. You got to protect the fish. Oh, that sounds such wonderful. Sounds awesome. But what does it really mean? Environmental restrictions. Privatize the oceans. Okay, fishermen, you guys like to go out there and catch tuna and salmon and crabs and everything else, which I fully support. All of a sudden, guess what? Now you won't be able to. Not even for yourself, not for business, not for anything. You have to go through the government to be able to get whatever you're going to get. And when you come in, they're going to check what you have and tax you accordingly. Yeah, I don't think, I remember in high school back in the early 80s, every year we would get 4 dough tags. So we were guaranteed to have at least 4 doughs in the freezer. And with a big family, that was a good thing. That kind of kept our overall costs down. We had a family of about 4, 5, 6, about 6, 7, 8 people. That's a lot of people eating a lot of meat. Yeah. And so a half a side of beef a year, plus 4 doughs, maybe an elk was in there, and maybe a buck or 2, right? And that actually did us pretty good. But it was affordable to do that. It actually was more affordable to do that. And now this state has made that not affordable to do that. Now it's more the sportsmen. The people are just so dedicated. They have to get out. They need to decompress. They need to get rid of some anxiety, some stress, get away from it all, and go do something they've always enjoyed. The difference now is that they enjoy a little bit less because of what it costs them, right? Yeah, so that has become a definite problem. So then we have number 15, life on land, because they're so concerned about cow farts and all, right? And actually, it's all about control of the resources. They've been paying farmers to plow under their fields. They've been destroying food production facilities. They've been destroying refineries in America. And yet I haven't seen a single investigation go down about how and why these things happened. Who's investigating these things? Where's the result of all this stuff? Oh, this place burned down. That's it. Moving on. Well, they investigated for, a plane crashed into it. It's okay. Next. Who was flying the plane? Was it a terrorist attack? Oh, no, that's not even important. Moving along. Next. You see what they're doing, guys? Number 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions. Wow, that sounds so wonderful. It really does. What does it really mean? Strengthen the police state. Take your guns. No. The day we let them take our guns, people, we will have lost. So whatever you do, don't let them take your guns. I definitely won't take them. And for me as a governor, I plan on removing all red flag laws. They're all repugnant of the Constitution, notably the Second Amendment shall not be infringed. 0 red flag laws. Day 1, they're all nullified. They're all gone. Yeah. And the thing is, and I want all these Oregonians that are responsible gun owners, which is the vast majority of them, to actually, regardless of their age, to join our state guard, our state militia. Because see, you're not just needed for your gun and your shooting ability. You're also needed for helping us when we have catastrophes and events. Up in Wallowa, they had a really bad hailstorm, huge hail, destroyed homes, cars, you name it. I mean, it was bad. And our governor said, well, because nobody was killed, nobody died, you guys are on your own. That's not right. See, Kate Brown doesn't represent America. The thing that makes us great is that when things are at their worst, we are all at our best. We step up. We have a hurricane going on in Florida. We have people from Louisiana, the Cajun Navy, coming to the rescue. We have linemen from all states. It was 1,000. I saw this picture. I was just like, man, that brings a tear to your eye. This is how committed these people are. They understand the importance of electricity in Florida if a hurricane takes it out. And if it does take it out, you're going to see the fastest recovery of any hurricane in the history of the country. And you hear all these environmental, oh, no, we have so many more hurricanes. No. We have the same amount of hurricanes, same amount of tornadoes. Actually, the number I just recently got was we've had less hurricanes and less tornadoes. Why? But the opposition, oh, no, we've had increases. No, that's not true. It's a lie. We're always going to have them. Periodically, we're going to have them. It's inevitable. Same thing with a tornado. The question will be, is there things they've been doing that have created more hurricanes or created more tornadoes, right? Because that is that issue. So then the final thing is the partnerships for the goals. Partnerships for all these 17 goals. The Sustainable Development Goals. What does it mean? It means a one world government. Now, see, I'm a Star Trek fan, right? A lot of us have been. We watched Captain Kirk, William Shatner, and all those awesome guys back when it was black and white, by the way. Yeah. And it tells you how old I am. Anyway, I would love the idea of a united Earth. The problem is the people that are running the show would not be those people. They're not. United Earth and the Federation wasn't built on TV after wiping out their population. Okay. No. And to me, these people that want to be in charge run the show. It's like a warlord in Lebanon. It's like a warlord in Somalia. These are the people that we've been slowly allowing to get into these leadership positions and take control of our country. And they're not representing us. They're representing somebody else. They're worried about somebody else. Is our current resident president, is he actually concerned about Americans? No. Every one of his actions literally indicate the opposite. You shut down oil production in America. Gas prices shoot through the roof. You sell off all our oil and reserves to China, of all people. This is treason. This is legitimate treason on the behalf of our current president-resident, right? So here in Oregon, what do we have? We have the Oregon-China Council. Suppose it's supposed to help Oregon be better. How has it helped? Anybody, if you have any idea how this has helped us, I would love to hear it. But so far, I've gotten nothing from anybody. It blows me away. So again, we're back to paying attention to who we put in office, realizing the truth about individuals, who they're beholden to. And the biggest thing I have to offer is the fact that I'm not beholden to anybody except for the voters. That's it. And I like being in that position. And what that means is I don't accept money from big, Pfizer, Big Pharma, whoever else like that. The funds we take in have basically all come from individuals, Oregonians. I think the most I got from one person was $5,000. The least I've gotten from somebody is like $5. And I've gotten a lot of people that sent in $17.76. It's awesome. And every little bit counts, and every little bit goes to something in this campaign. In the first part of my campaign, I paid for all my own gas. Why? I was trying to keep as much money into the campaign for business cards and flyers and ink and paper and some of the banners we used and the boards we built and a few signs that we were able to make. So we kept this, and then also some of the poker chips, which are promotional things, and souvenirs. This is what we spent our money on so far. And once we have more, we're able to spend it on lots of signs all over the state of Oregon, which is really important right now. We have 3 counties that are being covered right now: Lake County, Deschutes County, which will bleed into Crook County, and then also Coos County. And the people that have stepped up to literally go buy their own signs. They get our basic information, they go print their own signs, and then they go put them out wherever they want to put them. And gosh, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for that effort. This is the kind of thing we all have to do to win our state back. If we really want it back, we really want things fixed, that's what we have to do. And if somebody says they're going to split the vote, tell them they're lying. They do not know what they're talking about. And I can explain it to them. I can provide them with the information. But you know what they say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them think. And it's always amazing to me the people that say, oh, no, it's going to split the vote. It's going. Yeah, but you know why they say that? It's because somebody else told that to them, and they just took it hook, line, and sinker. Don't let them do that. What else we got over here? 5 people in Lakeview had brain aneurysms within 2 weeks of each other. Wow. Yeah, believe me, Kimberly, I talked to some of the hotels over there and what they have to do to treat their water just to wash their sheets and not have them come out red. Yeah, it's high iron content out there. And one of my proposals is literally to get fresh water that's at the coast before it gets to the ocean, recycle it back up somewhere else where it can be reused and run through our system again. And if we can't do that, and the best part about that is, see, in Lakeview, in that area, there's a way for us to increase precipitation, but that may not be a good thing for where these uranium mines are. You see? So in those situations, that would require an infrastructure project that would actually pipe fresh water all the way up to Lakeview so that you guys have fresh, good water that you don't have to treat. I mean, imagine that, right? Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, I'll tell you, you're right. JMD, thank you. Yeah, with the Oregon Republican Party, you have to understand who it's been run by for over 20 years now. That's Solomon Yu. And Solomon Yu is from China. Yeah, he claims to be a Chinese dissident. However, since he's been in America, he's had major dealings with China, the Chinese Communist Party, the entire time he's been here. Now, if you're a true Chinese dissident, I know a number of them actually, and they have told me flat out, if you escape China legitimately to escape communism and all that, and you come to America and become a citizen, they will never do any business with you at all. Keep that in mind. So do I trust Solomon Yu? No. But I also think his days are numbered, which is good. And there's a new gentleman that's the chair of the party. I need to be able to sit down and talk to him, look him eye to eye, and get a better beat on him. But until I do that, it would appear that he's doing good and the right things. So we'll see. We'll hold judgment. Raising Hugo, we shopped in Roseburg. All right, hey Sue, cool. Yeah, you know something, Sue? That whole Agenda 21, people they thought it was just like some ethereal thing, like, oh, that doesn't really exist, does it? Oh, yeah, it did. You had to go to the UN website. You go look up Agenda 21. It's there in black and white, but nobody bothers to go look at the UN site. It's like nobody bothers to go look at the Federal Reserve bank branch sites, right? See, it's there, but we don't think to go look. The other thing is, if you sat down and read Agenda 2030, you'd be like, oh gosh, it'll put you to sleep. It's just, and the more you already know, the worse it is. So I gave you a summary, and I actually have that summary available. Usually when I send somebody anything, I send them the actual Agenda 2030 document from the UN website, but I also send them a summary of the UN agenda. So people can read through it and kind of go, man, that makes so much more sense to me. I now see exactly what they're doing. They're playing word games and doing all that type of stuff to make you feel all warm and fuzzy right up until you get screwed. Yeah. Um, let's see. Oh, thank you, LD. Illegal immigrants will replace the deceased in their plan. Yeah, see, that's what they think. They think the illegal immigrants will be easier slaves to control because I'm not going to be easy to control, and I'm a service member, and I'm armed, and I got a brain, and I'm pretty clever when I need to be. So, um, yeah, I'm going to become a bigger target as time goes forward. Let's see. What about the false claim that the U.S. ordered 30,000 smart guillotines plus a beheading code as a cause of death? Oh, the evil plans they had. Yeah, these are real things that actually. I mean, I was stunned to even learn about. Like, no, that can't possibly be. Oh my God, it's true. What were they gonna do with those? Cut cabbage? I mean, yeah, very interesting. And I believe all that stuff was purchased during the Obama years, right? I believe that's right. So they were in preparation for the Hillary Clinton 8 years. Yeah. I said, if you defend yourself, you go down for defending. Wow. Well, let's put it this way. If I had to defend myself and shoot somebody in my home and I was in Washington, would I call the police? I guess not. When my kids were in school, they had a new policy that, see, normally if you're in school and somebody comes up and starts a fight with you and they throw all the punches and you don't even throw anything back. Actually, you don't even start it. That person started the fight. They're the ones that are ejected out of school. So in other words, if you start it, it's going to get finished for you, right? And nowadays, if you were the other guy, you're walking along, and you get attacked, and you don't even defend yourself. You curl up in the fetal position and then just have the crap kicked out of you. Guess what? You both get sent home for fighting. Excuse me? But my son here didn't do anything. He just got beat up. Well, he was part of the fight. That's our policy. Okay, well, here's my policy. Son, the next time you see that little punk anywhere, you have my permission to whoop his backside. And I'll deal with the aftermath. Okay? Well, Mr. Romero, you can't do that. Oh, I just did. You're going to punish my son for having done nothing wrong? You're teaching him that it's right for somebody else to beat him up and for him to not defend himself. And that he'll still be punished, whether he defended himself or not. So he's already been convicted of being in the fight, which he wasn't really in. So therefore, he should be allowed to do the crime. But Mr. Romero, that's wrong. No, what you're doing is wrong. What I'm doing is equity. Use their words against them. It is fair. You don't like fair, do you? Yeah, see, it's not meant to be fair. That's the deal. It's not fluffy, it's chubby. Oh, let me tell you what, I weigh in about 280 pounds right now, and I want to drop at least 50, 60 pounds. And the simple truth is I don't know how I'm going to do it because I don't really eat very much now. I'm trying to increase my physical activity. One thing about sitting behind this desk and in front of the computer, doing all the stuff I do, it's very sedentary. That part sucks, but I've been back out on the punching bag, so we'll see what comes back. Oh yeah, Patricia says, I lost so much weight just finding out what's in our food. Now here's the other thing. There's a lot of things that are in our food. There's even a lot of our medications that cause inflammation in our bodies, okay? And that's a problem. And there's a lot of things in our food here that's not even legal in Europe. Well, that's odd. I always thought that America had the highest requirements and the highest regulator, the FDA, and they were there to protect us. No, I think we've learned that they are not. The Food and Drug Administration is not there to protect us. They are there to be sold to the highest bidder. Yeah, and that's not you and me. That's Big Pharma. So let's see. Hey, Shauna. Thank you. Hey, there, Miss Shauna there and her husband Tim. They're angels out there in Coos County, where they got about 100 signs for write-in Paul Romero for governor, and have been distributing them and posting them all over the place. And just thank you guys again. Everybody that's helped in this campaign, whether it's volunteer work or funding or whatever, it's a humbling thing when anybody steps up to help in any capacity. And the first time I ever received financial help was the second time I ran for Congressional District 2. And I'd been financing my campaigns myself. My first campaign, $3,000, my money. And I ended up with 20% of the vote for CD2. It was really good. And so if I would have had another $6,000, I might have won. Wow, imagine that. And so the next go round, I had my $3,000, and then I got a $2,000 kick from a PAC. And in the PAC, when they send me the information report to the FEC, it details all the people and how much they donated to my campaign. Man, that about brought tears to my eyes. I'm telling you now, it was overwhelming for me. I mean, these are people from different states, people from Oregon, all over. I didn't even know who these people were, but they were putting into a PAC to support true conservative candidates. And that's what it was for. And they evaluated me as a candidate, and then that's how I ended up with those funds. It wasn't a whole lot, but it was actually almost half of what I spent, right? So that was really kind of cool, and it's a very humbling thing. Oh, wow. Okay, so you literally may not be able to legally own a pet in Oregon with the way it's going. Oh, gosh, like I said, guys, it's going to get worse if we let it. But don't buy into the people that talk about the vote splitting. It's not true. The vote is already split. We have a chance to fix it, because so many people don't want to choose between the lesser of the three evils. So chances are a lot of them won't vote, and that's a problem. And we have to do is get those people to vote for me and write me in. That's what we just need to do. Taught my mom, and we were both so much healthier. Couldn't overcome long COVID until I had a good source of food and supplements and good water filters. There you go. And we use Kangen water here, which is actually oh, come on. Just lost the word. But it's a high pH, 9.5, I believe is how we drink it. And cancer does not survive in an alkaline body. It's an alkaline water. And it's awesome. Even our dog drinks it. He's pretty spoiled that way. The average cost to hunt now is about $600 due to the state's ignorance. I'm telling you, Wilson, we're going to fix that. Let's just get me in office. We can fix that really quick. And I've seen the book, the book they print for hunting and stuff. Really? It needs to be this thick, really? Give me a break. Yeah, I know where all the money's going. That's right. Never surrender your firearms. 21,000 linemen. Wow. Man, it was awesome. It was impressive. And here's my warning to anybody that might think about invading this country. If we can get 21,000 linemen to show up in all their rigs and equipment right before a hurricane, what do you think we could do with all the Oregon hunters here in Oregon to rally them at a moment's notice and have them ready to support and defend this state? I'm going to bet you money we can do it in about 4 hours, tops. Yep, maybe less. I know we could do it. What do I know about the fires in 2020, 2021, like in Talent and Phoenix? Let me tell you what, Sue. I am confident that all these fires were intentionally set, and they were intentionally allowed to burn. The Antifa elements, they disappeared out of Portland for 2 weeks. And in those 2 weeks, what did we have? Fires lit all over the place alongside roads, interstates, highways, 2-lane roads, everywhere. But it's always close to a road where it started. And many of them were caught. Here in Douglas County, I think about 5 of them were captured by the Douglas County Sheriff. And the problem is that when they captured them, they didn't have enough evidence to charge them with arson. Okay. The good news was that all 5 of these people they caught, I think it's 5 or 6, I can't remember, it's been a while, all of them had outstanding warrants. So the sheriff was able to hold them for a while before they were released. Okay. And I went out because I had somebody that was on the inside, somebody that had a chance to speak with deputy sheriffs all the time. And they were all telling me, man, yeah, we caught a bunch of Antifa guys setting fires. Not even a question. They're Antifa guys. Well, this was told to me and shared with me, and I trust my source. And I was like, okay, so I had one of our researcher people go and get the photographs off the sheriff's webpage of all the people they'd arrested that week, notably the ones that said they were arrested for outstanding warrants. Turns out all of them, every one of them, was connected to Antifa out of Portland. Now, if our little research team can figure that out, I would like to think the sheriff and the FBI could too, right? So remember, we have that Timothy Thimble, the FBI director out of Portland, involved in the Hunter laptop and Hunter laptop. It was one of those laptops, either him or Anthony Weiner. But either way, yeah, he's involved in all of that. And by the way, he has been removed. He is no longer an FBI agent or a director. That's right. He accepted early retirement, which means he just dodged a bunch of bullets. Personally, I think they should stick him in a cannon, fire him out without a helmet. Yeah. So the question then is, how compromised is the Oregon FBI? Well, this is my personal experience. So I get a phone call because I go out publicly. I tweeted a tweet about how Antifa has been the ones setting the fires here in Douglas County, right? And then this is crazy. My tweet heard around the world, which you wouldn't believe. My followers went from like 50 to like 5,000, just like overnight. It was crazy. And we were interviewed by people from from France. Actual news reporters from France came here, met with us, a couple different groups, and yeah, it was crazy. But the FBI, what happened is the sheriff contacted me and said, "Hey, I need you to pull down those tweets. That's not true." And my answer was, "No, it is true. You know it, and I don't know why you're not reporting it. I don't know why you're lying about it, but I do know it's true. So I stand by that, and I protect my sources, but I have them, still have them." So what happens? Next thing you know, a couple days later, the FBI comes out and said, "We've done a thorough investigation of Mr. Merrow's claims and found that what he has claimed is just not true." Wow, the FBI did a thorough investigation. And I guess by thorough, they mean they, number one, didn't talk to me. Number two, never asked me about who my source was. Number three, never asked us about how we were able to identify those people with outstanding warrants with Antifa in Portland. They never asked us anything. They just came to their conclusion. It's really convenient, don't you think? So do I suspect the Oregon FBI to be corrupt as hell? At least a big chunk of it? Yeah, most definitely. Not to mention in recent dealings with them, where we've reported somebody for voting in two different primaries, which is a federal election law violation, which Timothy Thimble, the ex-director in Portland, has said, election fraud is one of our primary responsibilities, and we address this. And yeah, bull. 100% bovine excrement. It is just flowery words to make you and me all feel better and to trust them. Do we have reason to trust them? No, we do not. And as the next governor of Oregon, there's two entities I get to deal with, the FBI and the CIA. And I have to wonder, all the new construction they're doing underneath the Capitol, I wonder which offices are the CIA offices now. Yeah. Yeah, I'll take some of that action. Because I'm telling you now, that's probably who it is. That's who they're building offices for down there. Because did Oregon need new offices down underneath? No. Was there any real foundation problems they ever talked about? No. That place was built like a Fort Knox. Yeah, so think about it. Okay. Yep, I'm confident it was those 2 weeks. Antifa disappears out of Portland, and then fires erupt all throughout Oregon. And then as soon as it started, they all returned back to Portland, and then the fire stopped. Yeah. You don't even have to be a rocket scientist to figure that one out, or a FBI agent or detective. Common sense will tell you that one. I dial on the 2 in rabbit ears, one station mash every night, then Sunday hee-haw. Hey, I remember hee-haw too. Yep. She met another and she was gone. Yep. Let's see. Direct energy weapons. Okay. Yes, dues exist. Yes, there's absolute evidence of them being employed. Now, here in Oregon, I think they have. I've seen some video with some fires that were started that somebody managed to get, and that with an infrared filter or something on. But the ones in California, the ones I know for a fact, are 100% due. When you have a house that has been burned, except for the last 2 feet of it, cut like somebody sliced a slice of bread on your house. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that was a dew weapon. Okay, because the amount of heat that one little home generated to melt everything to nothing, but leave this one side of the house totally perfectly intact. No blistering, no nothing like that. All the bushes and trees around the house are totally fine. It makes me wonder if somebody in China said, "Hey, you know what we're gonna do? Let's burn out this area, and then we'll sneak in and buy all that property up for on the cheap, and then we'll rebuild it for ourselves." Yeah, would not surprise me in the least. My question is, why isn't our secret space force or space force now taking out those satellites that are dropping the dews on America? And how much longer does China think they can get away with that crap? So I'm going to say it ain't going to happen again. not them. Whether it's our guys doing it, I hope to God not. Because they got technology that we do not have and we don't have access to. So, hey, thank you, Shauna. I just earlier I did a video for the contract with Oregon. I went through the whole one because I know some people just don't want to go online. They don't want to read. Okay, well, at least now they can just watch a video and listen to me and hear me talk, and maybe that might inspire them to listen to some other things I do. Let's see. Roar Lions Roar. And let me tell you something. All of Oregon, the awesome thing about this whole thing, I have never felt more nonpartisan than I do right now. Because what I'm standing on is the Constitution. That's really it. That the rule of law, except for the laws that violate the Constitution. And in doing so, you actually do represent everybody. You're not a Republican. You're not a Democrat. You're not independent. You're not any of those things. You're not even all of those things. To me, running for office, you got to represent the people and you got to stand on the Constitution. And if your people want something that violates the Constitution, you got to have to tell them no. That's your responsibility. And you got to explain to them why. So we'll do that. Average cost to make a TV ad. Actually, I've been waiting for my person's calling me back this evening. And so I'll put it out there in the Lion's Den or some other places. And maybe the next live we do, we'll talk about that. And also, I'm already putting together some actual 15 and 20 and 30-second spots. So they're kind of like almost all ready to go. Then it's just a matter of sticking them on whatever channel we can get them on. Mr. Barry, 10 eggs from his hens today. Woo. I got 5 dozen eggs to go. Sweet. Excellent. Openly discussing weather engineering. Wow. First time I've heard that. Sue, and the thing about there's geoengineering. Okay. And there's also, orographic cloud seeding, and there's no actual chemical involved to be dispersed. There is a chemical that gets burned. It's silver iodide. And when silver iodide is burned, the ash is so fine and so perfectly shaped that ash, which is not going to react with anything, not fish, not frogs, not trees, not water, it's just going to be nothing. But it gives that little dust particle that goes up into the cloud. Now, mind you, if we could make dust particles to the shape that we need and the size we need and take that up into the atmosphere and put it in the right clouds, it had the same effect. The thing about the orographic cloud seeding is that you have to take advantage of the right clouds at the right time. And I don't know how difficult it is for dust, but with the silver iodide, it's very easy to burn it, even up out of an airplane as you fly by and you burn it. And the thing is, it does not leave even a chemtrail, nothing you actually see. So that's kind of cool too. Not to mention you have ground generators that as the orographic wind effect is whereas if this is the mountain right here, as the wind blows this way, it goes up the mountain, goes and then up and over. Well, that's an orographic effect. And what you do is you have generators here. So as that stuff's coming in, the wind's coming in, the generators here generate the ash from the silver iodide burned, and then that wind blows it right on up and over the mountain, up into the clouds. And then that naturally kind of seeds the clouds, and then those little particles will form crystals. And those are ice crystals. And then it'll fall. In the wintertime, it'll fall as snow. And in the summertime, when it's a little warmer, that snow actually turns into rain and falls. But the best part is it goes right where you actually want it. We want it in the mountains. We want our snowpack. We want people to be able to get a season pass at Mount Bachelor and ski the entire season, plus a little extra, right? We can do that. The best part is the price. We can generate up to 2 million acre feet of water on, I think it's about on $2 million. Yeah. And anybody that knows anything about water knows that is a bargain and a half. The best part is I even know how we're going to do it. It's already been done in 12 other states, so I'm not reinventing the wheel. No. I just understand about technology and what's available and what's good to go for our environment. Because I'll tell you right now, the solar panels, all the batteries, all the windmills are not good for our environment. And by the way, did you know that windmills actually inhibit rain? They create a different type of microclimate that is not conducive to rain. Yeah, learned that probably about a month ago. It's amazing all the little things that slip through the cracks, right? Hey, Bell. Best way to donate for Colorado. Well, you can either mail in a check, which is always fine. Make sure when you send information in, I need to know, I always have your address, of course, which is good, but also your job. If you're a doctor, if you're a dental hygienist, or if you're retired or you're a stay-at-home mom, whatever it is, make sure you include that information too. Thank you, Lisa Renee. Snowflower Davis. All right. Got my vote. You see reality. Hey, one thing you get in the lion's den is the truth. It's unadulterated truth. It's just the way it is. If we know the truth, we have a much better platform to stand on and how to fix the problems, right? And what I see most politicians do, which I don't claim to be a politician, is that they try to address all the symptoms. Me, I'm a project manager. I go find out what the real problem is, fix that, and then the symptoms just go away. So it's more efficient, it's more economical, it's better, it's quicker, it's faster, it's everything. And as a project manager, that's your responsibility. Get yourself from point A to point B, do it quickly, do it within the amount of time you have, do it under budget, and do it right. That's it. Pretty simple equation. Turn the dead into fertilizer. Oh my gosh. Now we've got to stop. That just shouldn't even be happening. We don't need Soylent Green in our diets because that's the next step, guys. I saw a video where Steve Harvey was being introduced to this salve that turns back the years, gets rid of all the wrinkles, makes you look so young. And Oprah uses it like regularly. And apparently it's made from like Korean children foreskins. Really? Is that all it's made out of? Yeah. Sure, Oprah. Yeah, we know who you're friends with. Mm-hmm. I'm curious, where's Oprah been? Haven't seen her anywhere. Huh. That's odd. Let's see. What else we got over here? Let's see. Colorado too. Man, I'll tell you what. I hope things are improving over there. Ate in Canada in the 1990s. It was way better food. Like I said, we can have good, healthy food here, but they're literally taking that out of the equation, guys. They're burning down these processing plants. It tells you wherever they're burning it down, chances are that's where the good food was coming from. All the cookie places, the Oreos and all that. Yeah, those are still working just fine. No fires to my knowledge. Yeah, thank you, Patricia, the alkaline. Yeah, thank you for helping me to remember that. Let's see. How can I get some of your signs and bumper stickers? Well, right now, Lee, let's see. what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up something so that people can actually just go online and order, buy a sign or whatever they want to do. Right now, I have people that are actually, they're spending $500, $1,000 actually going out and buying signs. They go to the sign place in their neighborhood. They say, hey, I want so many signs. I want them to say this. They print them up, and then they share them with people. They whatever they want to do. If somebody wants to give you $5 for the sign you just bought, engage. But I don't have to report it because I'm not doing it. People are doing that on their own, and they have every right to do that. I'm definitely not going to stop them. So, and right now, I think I'm down. All my bumper stickers are gone, but I am down to some of these. Let's make Oregon yours again. And so if you get me an address, I can at least get you a couple of these and some business cards. How about that? And also, I usually include some other documentation just so you have it. Let's see what else we got. I'll need to connect and support each other as well. Get this off. Thank you, Lisa Renee. I appreciate that. I grew up here in Oregon. I'm actually a Cajun from Louisiana. So there's no better person to have in your corner than a Cajun. Yeah, we don't give up. We don't quit. And we like dealing with bad people in a really awesome way. And growing up here in Oregon, as you can tell, I don't sound Cajun anymore. It's like, woo, aye, catch that light. I guarantee we're going to do something about this here state. That's right. And don't get me going on my Boudreaux Thibodeau jokes. I like those. Those are fun. Let's see. Rogue River, my grandma lived by Highway 99. Fires every year in the 80s, same place. She moved to Williams because of it. Wow. See, I used to fight forest fires back in 1985. I did it for a summer, and I was part of a crew out of Prineville, the Oregon State Forestry, under a gentleman by the name of Bill Christensen. And Bill Christensen was, top-notch guy. Oh, gosh. When it came to fighting fires, he fought fires. He knew how to train his people, keep them out of trouble, keep them safe. And first lesson I learned was why we do not ever, under any circumstance, cross a rock slide in a fire. First thing I learned, day one. Learned that lesson well. And I see where other people have dropped that training. Unfortunate. So anyway, I fought forest fires before I joined the Navy, and we put them out wherever we went. There was none of this, okay, we're going to let this one burn a few more acres, and then we're going to put it. No. You put it out. If it was only a tree from a lightning strike, you got up there and put it out. If all you had was what was in your bladder to put it out, guess what you used? That's right. And then you drank a bunch more water. Yeah, whatever it took. And in this day and age, we see constantly where I find these fire crews, and they're wearing uniforms look like they just came out of the dry cleaner. Beautiful, blinding, perfect. And they just came back from a fire. Do you see anything wrong with that? I do. What I've learned is that the budget for fighting fires has grown to just astronomical size. It's huge, way bigger than all the money they used to spend on just preventing the fires. It is a for-profit operation. Oh, yeah. It's just the truth. That's how bastardized it's become. See, we're going to have fires, but a big part of firefighting is before the fire. It's digging line. It's creating fire breaks. It's cleaning the underbrush. It's letting the logging industry in where they need to go. It's letting them take care of a fire if it starts where they're close by. That's like illegal for them to do that now. It shouldn't be illegal for anybody to put out a fire if they're there on hand to do it. It's only 20, 30 feet across. I got news for you. You could run around that circle, stomp it out, and it'd be out. Done. Instead of letting it burn a couple thousand acres or 1 million acres. And here in Oregon, look at how much they've destroyed over the last 10 years. Gosh, it is insane. Yeah, ionized water. Yeah, Dina, alkaline, but better. Cleans the body. And I guess the water molecules are smaller, so it's easier for them to enter and exit cells. So it keeps your cells cleaner. Get you all squared away that way too. Let's see. Although the truth is I need to drink more water. It's always the case. Yeah. Hey, Sue, listen, One thing I can say is every one of us have to dig our boots in and fight. And I've been doing that. I've been up against a little cadre of minions. I like to refer to it as the Mob Barker um, gang. And some of them are starting to get the credit that they're due, and they don't like that. I warned them. They want to keep dancing on the minefield. Go ahead, but it's at your own peril. Let's see. Thank you, Wilson. And I'm looking forward to a phone call that's supposed to come in this evening. Another one. It's going to be a busy evening once I get off of here, but I'll emailing people. Oh, that's another. Yes. Thank you, LD. There was Expose Oregon Elections Facebook page, and I've been on there for a while, and I've been able to post my stuff and what we're doing. And then all of a sudden, they somehow blocked me. And then it got to the point where I couldn't even go on and see there, but people could look on there and see that I was one of the members, right? And I confronted that person about it, called them on it, and they had all these excuses. And I was like, I already know who you are. I already know what you've done. I already know that you're lying to me now. Just stop. You're making yourself look like an idiot. And then they said, well, I appreciate if you call off your dogs. Well, first of all, I don't have any dogs to just sick on people. What I have are people that actually know the truth. I have people that actually understand all this stuff. And when they run into these things, they address them in the moment. The best way to keep anything from getting too out of hand is address it in the moment. And they do. They do it from a position of knowledge and facts, not all these opinions. And, I don't think we're going to hear from her anytime soon. But know this, those that participated in violating Oregon law and all the other stuff that they've done, yes, they're going to get their due credit publicly, which is as it should be. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Stephen, for posting that. That is the address. And if you send a check, just make it out to Paul Romero for governor. And that's that. Thank you, Sue. I appreciate that. My grandfather's always said something. I know he didn't say it first, but basically the truth is always better, because when you tell the truth, you don't have to remember who you told what lies, right? So everything you remember is just the truth and what you say, and you just stick to that. And right now here in Oregon, what we're finding is that we've been lied to so much. And I listen and I watch the commercials from the other three top money guys, and they lie a lot about their record and where they've actually stood. And it's really impressive that anybody can get away with that and not be attacked like I've been attacked for just telling the truth. Yeah, it's something else. The old Barry there, he's quite an industrious guy. Raised most of his veggies and eggs, some chicken meat. Sweet. Good job. Lisa, Rennie, your grandma was a Cajun. Yeah, my grandfather, his name was Exalta Romero, and his wife was Marie. And they didn't even speak English. I know. Unfortunately for me, I didn't get to know them very well. But they were good Christian people. And they helped their neighbors. They helped other people around them with a lot of things. And that's how they were known. Oh, yeah, hydroperoxide. Oh, there's another good thing. And by the way, guys, when you're brushing your teeth, take a little capful of hydroperoxide, throw that in your mouth, and brush your teeth. There you go. And every once in a while, when you clean your ears, a little hydroperoxide is not a bad thing to use. Yep. You get to hear some snap, crackle, pop for a little bit, but it kind of tickles sometimes. Keeps all the bad stuff out of there, too. Let's see. Yeah, I'm finding I've been blocked out of some Telegram groups, and there's still a couple. There's a convict out there, goes by a couple different names. There's another guy by the name of was it? Oh, come on. I can't remember his name. Anyway, I don't know who this guy is. I've never met him, and the way he talks, he acts like he's known me or met me. I don't know who he is. So interesting guy there. And what's funny is when all these people are attacking me and they don't think that I have any chance at all, and yet they keep attacking me. No, that's really weird. And then I have all these phone calls from these placed Republicans in the Republican Party trying to convince me to drop out of the race in my write-in campaign. And they said, well, you're going to get less than 1% of the vote anyway. I beg to differ. If they weren't worried about 1% or less, they wouldn't bother calling me. Yeah. And I know how this can play out. So, and if anybody sends me an email address, I will send you all kinds of awesome information, including a copy of the contract with Oregon, the Agenda 2030, as well as the summary of the UN agenda that kind of helps you to explain it in plain English. And that's always a good thing to have handy, because I'll tell you what, most of those things, people can hit me on the topics. They go, yeah, oh yeah, this is what they're saying. This is what they actually mean. This is what they're doing. And when you explain it to people that way, they go, that is what they're doing. Ah, there you go. Stay on it. Let's see. That's right. If I'm not a threat, why are they bothering to bother with me? Hey, Terry. Yeah, we didn't plan for this. I had done a earlier half-hour, 40-minute deal where I covered my contract with Oregon. So there's a separate video with that. And so people can actually just watch that and rather than go to the website and read it. Yeah, I know. people get a little lazy, you know, but if they have a video to watch, if it's in a TikTok, you know, no problem. They'll knock that stuff out. But, and by the way, special thank you to LD for all the TikToks and the memes she's generated for us out there. There have been a lot of fun. And I think we got one out there with a Conan the Barbarian theme song music on there. Oh yeah, I like that one. Because we are in battle, guys. This is Battlefield Oregon right now. It really is. Thank you, Dina. I appreciate that. You know, somebody asked me a question. They said, you know, in the off chance that you don't succeed in this election, what are you going to do? I said, what do you mean what I'm going to do? You don't know the answer to that? Never give up. Never surrender. We have to keep fighting. It doesn't matter if you have a loss. You know, I played rugby at the University of Louisiana, Raging Cajuns. I played with them first string type prop for 2.5 years. And in all that time, we never gave up. Even when we lost, we never gave up. We fought down to the last second. And a couple of those times, because of that, we won. We snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. You're not going to win all the time. And that's just life. But it's not how many times you win. It's how many times you get back up and get in the game. It's how many times you get up and you just don't quit. And the thing I hate is I can always tell a politician will run for office one time and they'll lose and then they won't run again. Well, I guess you weren't serious, were you? If you're going to represent people, you got to step up your game. And for me, how serious am I? Well, let's see. I gave up a job because of the Hatch Act. It was a government type job I had. And in order to run for governor, once I was announced, I had to let go of that job. And I can't take that job back until I win, or not until I lose, actually. And then I can go back if I want. But, you know, you're either committed or you're not. And I run into too many people running for office that are not really committed. I run into a lot of people that should be running for office, just should step up, that could do great things for their people, but they're very reluctant to do it because they witness what I've been through. A lot of them go, man, I don't even want to deal with all that crap. I'm like, I didn't want to either, but it happened. But my thing is this: if a bully comes up and punches you in the nose, you better put him down. That's what you do. That's how you deal with bullies. You do not capitulate. You don't be all nice. Well, it's okay. I understand your problem. No. You stand your ground. You fight back. You take back any ground you lost. I've been dealing with bullies my entire life. And nothing good ever came out of stepping down. Nothing good ever came out of backing off. So I resigned myself a long time ago. I'm not backing off. I'm not giving up. But I tell you what, I know a bunch of people right now wish they hadn't done the things they did because they were in the wrong. They know it. I know it. And a whole lot of other people are going to know it. They're going to know their names. They're going to know their faces. It's only fair. Hey, like I said, you're going to play in this game, fine. And I understand that my wife, Oksana, and I, gosh, we have taken, oh, man. Most people would have lost their mind. They would have given up months ago. They would have taken their ball and gone home. But no, we don't do that here. And poor Oksana, she was getting so frustrated. See, I have this outlet. I get to talk to all of you. And I really enjoy sharing information, talking with people. And, she was getting pretty upset about some things. I said, maybe you should get into the game. I said, you're sitting on the bench. You're pissed off at what's going on the field. Maybe you need to get in the game. So she did. Whew. You have no idea what this woman has accomplished in the last month. Salute. Oksana has interviewed legislators in her where she was born in Ukraine. She's interviewing ambassadors to Japan. I think that's Tuesday. It'll be a busy day Tuesday and Monday for her. So she's dying to make sure this weekend she just relaxes and enjoys it. This is my awesome wife. And this is a woman that would be a great First Lady of Oregon, if not potentially even a governor of Oregon, to be honest. I'm really proud of her. And when it comes to Oregon and what she's willing to do to fight for Oregon, oh man, guys, it's a 1-2 punch with myself and Oksana. But the interviews she's doing for other people and the people that she is bringing in, the things she's exposing, the things she's talking about, she's got the inside track. She gets it. She's studied. She's doing what I do. She's been watching me do this. It's like, how do you know this? I read, I watch, I listen, I learn, I pay attention, I take notes, and guess what she's been doing? The exact same thing. I go upstairs and there she is working away, and then I'll see something come out on the printer. Oh, she's busy. She's working. Sometimes when you feel helpless and you feel like there's nothing you can do, the truth is there's always something you can do. Always. Doesn't matter what the situation is. The question is whether it's the right thing or not, or if there's a better thing you can do, and if you need a little help to try to figure out what that is. So that's where we ask for help and we ask for directions. Pride goes before the fall. So toss pride out the freaking window and get whatever help you can, whatever insight you can, and then do something about it. And here in Oregon right now, the biggest thing people can do for Oregon is just to vote, to share a write-in candidate. Right now, just to let y'all know, in case you have any context in ONRI or Timber Unity, go chew on their backsides because these people will not interview me. They're afraid to. And I tell you why. I believe it has to do with who's running the timber industry in Oregon. They like it as it is right now because those big guys are making money hand over fist. Matter of fact, Weyerhaeuser had a freaking strike because their employees realized how much money they were making and not actually paying them. You get it? Ah, yeah. Weyerhaeuser, South Pacific, Teven Brothers, yeah. Kind of a three-way monopoly going on here in Oregon. And so what does that do? Half of Timber Unity, half of ONRI, you're screwed. And the very people that are running your organizations aren't helping you. Yeah, go ask them why. Why is it that Paul Romero has a solution that's going to not only get our forest back to real management, but also is going to give a chance for every mill in the state of Oregon to reopen and operate, with even support from the high schools with the forest products program, like it used to be? Why won't you let him come and tell us about that? Why are you shoving Christine Drazen down our throat? Go ask him these questions. And the other thing I'll warn you about, because I noticed this on, I think, ONRI, they were making a comment about fish guts and how this is going to be a great thing. And it's like, okay, first of all, I don't know how many fish guts we have coming out commercially. And generally, if we do have any, they're being used for something, right? They can blend that up, put it in a bottle, and let you pour it on your plants. It's actually pretty expensive at Home Depot. But this is the questions I have to ask these people. Why aren't you interviewing me? I'm willing to come on and talk to all your people and let them ask any question they want. Any question they want, and I will answer it. But no, nothing. Why is that? So if you get a chance, go put the thumb screws to these people. Go ask them. Why won't you interview them? Why won't you talk to them? Well, why in Canada they don't stand a chance? Wrong. They most certainly do. Lisa Murkowski, Alaska, U.S. Senate, won a write-in campaign. I think it was like just last year. No, never say never. It's just not true. Yeah, Barry, I bet you're multitasking. That's awesome, Sue. You know something, Sue? I don't know if your mom's still around or she's in Oregon, but one of the issues I'm going to run into is I'm going to have a teacher shortage because there's going to be a whole lot of them fired and probably prosecuted for inappropriate things for children. And in the course of that, which means I'm going to have to recruit a bunch of retired teachers back into battle. And the cool part about it is that they'll be able to come back in, they're going to be able to get paid, they're going to have any taxes, it'll be a special deal, no taxes, and they get to still keep their retirement. Yep, because I need help. And I know old school is still the best school, and we need a whole lot more of old school. Yep, Dina, I've always been a patriot, and I'm a project manager. And I guess, if anything, my goal is to be a true statesman, because I think as a true statesman, when you're in office and you're doing things, you can travel anywhere you want and not worry about anything. Okay. And number two, once you retire, once you quit, once you're moving on to something else, and you run into people that you were working for, same thing. You go, man, thank you for what you did. You've really helped Oregon. And I appreciate the fact that you also are guiding other people to make sure they do the right things by the people. You got it, man. That's what I'm here for. That's where we want to be. That's right, Sue. When the bullies step in, you just go right up and say, go ahead and make my day. I like smiling at them myself. I do one of these. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, why is this guy smiling? It's because, dude, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to win, and you've already lost. So, great reveal is coming. Gosh, I hope, Patricia, it will make my life a lot easier. That's for sure. Awesome. Oh, thank you, Terry. Yeah, I put on the suit today for the what I just did for the going over the contract with Oregon. So it's just a shorter video, about 30, 40 minutes long, but that's all it is. It's just that. For those people that don't want to read it, take the time to read it. Yeah, let me tell you, one thing is this, and I pray this for everybody, that you meet your person, your right person in your life. For me, you always hope for the best, and invariably you have to be that. I'll use the phrase equally yoked, and that means not just in religion or it means intellectual and education and everything. Because there's a gal I dated for a while, a really sweet girl, and she said that when she was around me, she just felt stupid. I was like, how can you feel? You do accounting, accounts payable and receivable, and balancing stuff, and I said, I can do that, but I hate doing it. You can do it, and you like doing it, and you're doing taxes. I'll struggle through it. I'll get it done. You knock it out. Not even a big deal. I said, there's things that I know, things that you know. That's it. But whenever we get into other discussions and things, or she'd be listening into a conversation I have with somebody, we're talking about zero baseline budgeting or something, and it was just a little out of her comfort zone. And she said it just made her feel kind of stupid. I'm like, and well, people talk about things all the time that I don't have a clue about. Really, it happens. And I'm just like, wow, I'm listening to learn, you know? But like I said, it's important to find that person. And with Oksana, oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, come on. The woman's an artist. She deals in paints and oils and watercolors and stains and wood. She has texture stuff. She was a model. She's a fashion designer, and her fashions will just light the room on fire. Oh, by the way, because I'm gonna brag on my wife a little bit, if you don't mind. Okay, so if you get a chance, go check out OksanaDevida.com. Okay, and on that is her website that has a bunch of her art and a bunch of her fashion, and it's just so impressive what she does. And by the way, all the fashion she makes, all those dresses, takes her up to 3 to 4 weeks to make one. They are all hand crocheted. Oh yeah, and they're beautiful. They're amazing. They celebrate women. Okay, and what, ladies, don't ever think it's bad to be a woman. You know, I think we are all born to be what we are, and women are awesome, and men can be kind of cool, you know. But yeah, leave it at that. But she's also an engineer, kind of almost out of necessity. But her skills and her background and all the stuff she's done, all the stuff she can do now, all the stuff she is doing now, we are literally just muy simpatico, and it works, and it's awesome. And yeah, I enjoyed my time with Oksana. We spent a lot of time together, and I'm really grateful for that too. Let's see. I do, Sue. Oksana is so amazing. And let's see, do I have the, let's see, now let's see. There, yeah, there's one of our pictures. And that is our wedding picture from 2 years ago. So we're on our better. Yes, 2-year anniversary. It's already come and gone. And so we're working on number 3, which her biggest complaint is that I didn't find her sooner. And I got to admit, it's my complaint too. Let's see. Yeah, Drazen, you know, one thing about Christine Drazen is I listened to her. She's 49 years old. And she already has this politician demeanor. It's like, well, you know, she seems a bit aloof. She sounds like Mickey Mouse, which I kind of like Mickey Mouse, I guess. But I don't think she's been very successful in the legislature. She can complain about a lot of stuff there, but she was part of a lot of stuff there. And if she wants to plead stupidity for having voted on certain bills that she didn't necessarily agree with, or that she compromised herself to go along with to get something else, that doesn't represent us. You stand your ground or you don't. And she didn't do that. And the fact that she supports the Oregon Chinese Council, that's an automatic disqualifier. Like I said, I consider it treason. Let's see. High school was perverted. Yep. 5th grade teacher was arrested in town on pornography charges. Awesome. Send her to the chair. Let me tell you what. There's no, gosh, if you have your own laptop in your house and you had all kinds of child porn on it or something like that, and they found out about it somehow, some way, and tracked you down, you're going to jail, right? Okay, then there's the other possibility where certain federal agencies and NSA can plant that stuff on your computer. Oh yeah, they can do that too. So all these things, if you piss off the wrong people, or the wrong people decide they don't want you no matter what it takes, well, let's see, what was that movie? Eagle Eye, right? That sentient computer that decided to take action and like wipe out Congress, and to get this one guy to actually do the things that the computer needed it to do, it sent all these bomb making materials to his house. So he comes home and it's like, what is all this stuff? Fertilizer, grenade. It was like insane. His room, his apartment was packed. He had no idea what it was about. And so the FBI is on their way. You have 30 seconds to get out of the building and go down the fire escape, whatever. And yeah, that's the kind of stuff. It was pretty crazy. So they can set you up. There's not even a question. And then it's going to be a matter of what I'm going to have to do when that time comes. Hopefully, there's enough good guys out there that can keep that stuff from happening. She's 80 now. Wow. Well, I got news for you. I bet you she could still teach. Yep. I bet she could still do something. What else we got here? Yeah, I just typed her website in, and I'm pretty sure that that should be working. We had to update the SSQ certificate on it just recently. So if it doesn't show up, it may be because that's still going through. And her full name is, of course, Oksana Davida Romero. Oksana Davyda, and then Romero. All right, Mr. Wilson, you take care. We're going to wrap this up. Yep, it's time for dinner. And awesome. But yeah, when you get on there, you really want to take a look at the fashion. There's going to be like a gallery, but if you scroll down on the first page, there's going to be a black lady in a beautiful white dress. And I mean, it's just amazing. It's just like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Beauty is one thing, but as you ladies know, what you wear for yourself can really just make it even better, right? So it's that right combo. And for Oksana and what she does, come on. And see this shirt over here. Yep, that used to be one of my shirts. She commandeered it, made it her own, and I got to admit, it looks way better on her. Yeah, she styled. She did. Wow, it's just incredible what she can do. But okay, guys, well, I'm going to wrap this up. Again, thank you all for being here. Please make sure you share that Contract with Oregon video. We'll get it posted in the Lions Den everywhere so that people just have the link. We got to wake up Oregon. It takes all of us. It's Battlefield Oregon, and we are all soldiers in this. Okay, this is Team Oregon right now, and we need everybody, all hands on deck. All right. So anyway, God bless each and every one of you. Sleep well. I know I'm going to, and we will see you on Sunday.